Hello, everybody. We are here for the one of the first episodes of Startup3 podcast. Startup3 is an AH 2020, so EU-funded program dedicated to deep tech. And after 1 year-long acceleration program, after going through top 25, top 10, and eventually top 5, we got our top 5 innovators. And today we will present you one of them. My name is Tanja Medakovic, and this is my colleague,
Daniel Pavlica.
And we will be your hosts for this mini-series. And today with us is Centiloc. Romain, welcome.
Hello.
Romain, first of all, how are you? And can you tell us a little bit more about Centiloc?
Yes, for sure. So Centiloc is a young startup. We are 2 years old now. And we have been in big development since these 2 years. We have founded the company with 2 other founders. So we are 3 founders in the company. And today we are 15 people. So it's quite a nice development. We are pushing out on the innovation side because we are a deep tech company. We have patented today 8 innovations with 8 patents. So we are clearly a deep tech company.
Okay, thank you very much, Romain. So, of course, glad to have you on board. And once again, congratulations on being in the top 5 of the Startup3 program.
Thank you. Thank you very
much. People already know that we had 250 startups competing for those 5 spots, and you won basically, of course, with your innovation, with your experience, and basically your ideas. So could you tell us a bit more about the solution that you had developed or basically improved during the Startup3 program? What is it all about? What is its unique selling point? And how is it different than other solutions on the market?
Yeah, for sure. So to explain what Centiloc is doing, in fact, as I said, we are a deep tech company, so we have made a great innovation, and this innovation is in fact a solution for geolocalization. I will redo it.
Okay, let's redo it.
Sorry. Okay. I don't repeat everything. I will start the last sentence.
Okay.
So the solution of Centiloc is a geolocalization. Okay, I will not be able to
use that word.
No worries.
Okay, should we start again? So I will just briefly say, so can you please let us know more about the solution?
Yes, effectively. So Centiloc has developed a solution to localize the objects, for example, in a store or in a factory. So in fact, the innovation is ready to know the exact position of products on a smart shelf. So Centiloc has developed a unique solution for smart shelves based on the NFC technology, which is very new. And this NFC technology will help you to know the exact position of objects and to know exactly, for example, your stock inventory. When you are in a store, for example, you will know exactly what is in the store, and you will have at the end the digital twin of your store, and you will connect your store to the digital world.
Okay, thank you. So, Romain, this might be half business, half personal question. So, who would be your ideal customer?
So, our customer will be, for example, in the luxury industry, our customers will be the retailers and the brands. Okay. Concerning the retailers, you may know the people like, for example, Sephora, which are big luxury retailers, and they will sell a lot of brands like L'Oréal, like Givenchy, all these brands. So at the end, these customers will be very interested to know exactly what is happening into the store, and specifically what happens on the shelf. So when there is a customer in front of a shelf, what is its behavior? What is it doing in front of the products? And at the end, what are the hotspots? For example, you want to know the products which are picked in hand or not. the product of interest. So the solution, in addition to the total store inventory, will give you also knowledge on the behavior of the customers.
Amazing. So what would you also say that is your unique selling point? What is the difference between other similar products, or are there any similar products on the market nowadays that target the same?
Yes, for sure. Yeah. So we are not the first to try and solve this issue and to digitalize the store. And in fact, a lot of big companies have tried to do that. For example, Amazon with its Amazon Go solution, which is a just walkout solution, has done that for years. There are also companies like Prax, which are very big companies solving these issues. All these companies have a common technological point, which is to use cameras and to use at the end computer vision. Okay, and that's really the unique differentiation point of Centiloc, is that we are not using cameras, but we are using NFC technology. And we do think that the NFC technology is largely more accurate because it's a radio technology, so you will exactly detect the position of object, where in fact the camera will only see what is visible, and you will not get access to all the information.
Perfect.
Okay, that's a really good insight. Thank you. So we would also like to know, when you now look retrospectively, so how do you remember Centiloc at the beginning of the program when you were applying, and how did you develop throughout the program? So what did it bring to you? How did Centiloc change in the meantime?
Yeah, so clearly what I would say, that, as I said, we are 3 founders and we are 3 engineers, in fact. So we have started with, it's a deep tech, as I said. So we started already on the technological point, focusing already on the technology. And in fact, what I would say is that at the beginning, we were already coming with this solution, technical solution. And we were clearly looking at the markets. So we have identified for sure the retail market, but it was difficult for us at the beginning to know exactly what to do with this technology. Okay, so what I would say during the STARTUP3 program is that maybe we are more concentrated on the solving the problems and looking effectively at what are the customer needs. What we have when we looked at the ready customer needs, for example, we have seen that retailers are looking for solutions. For example, lift and learn application. Lift and learn is when you take a product and you have a video which will be on the screen, but this is the exact video for the product and not a standard video. So in fact, this was a problem already existing. So looking for solution, and in fact, we have made this match between our solution and the problem the retailers were trying to solve. It's the same for the customer behavior. So for many years, they have tried to try and find what we are doing the people into the store. And with this technical solution, we were able to solve it. So at the end, I would say that at the STARTUP3 program, we started with really something very technologic. And at the end, we are more looking at the use cases and the experience of the customers, which is really our focus today.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Romain. Basically, this is what the program is all about, to have amazing deep tech solutions, amazing engineers. But of course, if one person is an engineer by vocation, it usually lacks the business side. So we are glad that you have completed your business strategy within Centiloc. But we would also like to hear from you. What is basically one result that you are the most proud of within the last year within Centiloc or within Centiloc within STARTUP3?
So in fact, at the end, effectively, as we were able to position ourselves really on the experience and on the use case, what we are very proud of today is that we have today a showroom in which we are exposing all these use cases. So it was possible, effectively, as I said, thanks to the technical part. But at the end, when people are coming to this showroom, They are more looking at what are the benefits of the technology. And at the end, you don't see the technology because the smart shelf is just a shelf. You don't see the technology behind it. And I think that's what we can be proud of is that in fact at the end you need to focus on the benefits and you don't see the technology. I think that's the best part of it.
Yeah, I think there was a saying that we don't understand electricity, but we all know how to use it. So nobody even wonders about the technology, behind the on and off switch. What we would also like to ask you is, how did it all start? So it was 3 of you founders, but what is at the core of your story? What is your motivation? Why this solution?
Yeah, in fact, the fun fact we can say it now. In fact, effectively, the fun fact is that we didn't start by the retail. In fact, we started very far from that by game boards. In fact, so in fact, at the very beginning, the fun was in fact to connect a game board, a classical game board made of cardboard. In fact. And we wanted to connect it to have an hybrid game board, so meaning a mobile application with a standard board. And in fact, this is really the beginning to say, okay, let's try to make a game. And at the end of the day, we had this game, but frankly speaking, it was not really the product that we can sell. It was more for fun. And then we have looked at the application. In fact. It's when we found other applications that we decided to start the company and to build this startup.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Amazing story. But of course, what happened before is important, and you are now in the project as well. But what is, I would say, the most important is where do you see Centiloc in the future, and where do you see the ecosystem or the sector that you contribute or target basically in the next 5 or 10 years?
So clearly there is a move in this sector because now we are focusing on the retail. Clearly there is a great move after the COVID, but even before the COVID, in fact, we know that everything is becoming digital. It's more the case after the COVID for sure. It has pushed the deep.
Okay, sorry, Romain, fact, Romain, sorry, you were cutting, so maybe we can start.
Yeah, let's do it again.
Yes, so if you can just start from the industry where it will happen, the retail industry that will become retail. Okay.
Yeah, so in fact, in the retail industry sector, what we see is that there is a big push in the digital today. Clearly, after the COVID, and it has started before the COVID, but after COVID, it's clear that everything will become digital. You have a click and collect. You have you have drives. You have many functions which are digital today. And in fact, the retail clearly needs digital to be as competitive as the e-commerce, for example. So today we are talking about phygital, which is effectively the combination between e-commerce and physical stores. And yes, what we do see is that in the coming years, the stores will become more and more digital. What we see with our prospects today is that when they are going to open a new store in China, for example, they want it to be digital from day zero. So we think they will be interested to put our technology because in new stores today, you have to put innovation and you have to digitalize it. So yes, in the coming years, we see the retail coming more and more with these innovations. Yeah.
So yes, we agree perfectly, and this is also why we are part of this program. The future is digital. However, we also wanted to ask you if there is a piece of advice that you could also share with your fellow entrepreneurs who are just starting out their voyage as a startup founder or application developer and so on. And moreover, would you recommend a program like STARTUP3 to them for their development?
So clearly, it's difficult to give generic advices for sure. But from our experience of the program, effectively, the only small advice I can bring is to say effectively, it's interesting to take some distance when you have this project and you are into your project. What is good with this kind of STARTUP3 program is to take some distance and to have the time to think about your strategy, as I said, about your use case. So if you start with your deep tech, you start with your technical thinking. Yes, it's good to take time to look at the use case, to look at what are the real needs of customers. So yes, for sure, I will recommend the program for this, for this unique possibility to think about your strategy and to get some advice, because we had good advisors also and mentors during the program. So yes, for me, for the reflection on the strategy, the program is very good.
Thank you very much for these kind words. I would also like to ask you, for those who will be listening to this podcast, where can they see Centiloc, its showroom, or hear more about it, or which are the events that you plan to attend, either live or online?
Yeah, for sure. So we have today effectively different showrooms. So we are in the south of France, in Aix-en-Provence, but we have also showrooms in Paris and Geneva. So for sure, people are welcome to visit. They will also be able to see us at different shows. So we will participate in different programs like the Paris Retail Week, which is really dedicated to that. We hope also to go to NRF in New York in January. So clearly, yes, we are looking for these events. We are waiting to be sure on the situation on the COVID, but normally we are optimistic and we think we will participate on these events.
Amazing. So when it comes to STARTUP3, we are extremely happy to be part of Centiloc's story, at least a bit, because we're sure that Centiloc will have a big decision making and actually influence in the retail industry in the future, especially knowing the team and how the innovation is set and how the innovation is progressing. Then also we would also like to hear what are you looking for in the future? What kind of collaborations, investors, or collaborations with other corporations, other startups? Where is the room for collaboration with Centiloc?
Yeah, for sure. So the first point, as you said, is to find the right partners. Retail is a big sector, so we will not develop alone in this sector. Today we have partnership with shelf vendors and people making the stores. So that's really the kind of partnership we are looking for. Then, as we are deep tech, we will need also to continue and push on the technology. And for this, we will need to have a fundraising. So we are today preparing a Series A to fundraise and to find effectively the next VC to help us continue to develop the technology.
Thank you very much.
That was very loud and clear. So we will do our best to get this message through. It was really great having you on board, and we are looking forward to seeing more of your success and more of Centiloc. Is there anything else that you would like to add for the end of today's podcast?
Oh no, that's I think I've said everything, and I want to thank you and thanks all the STARTUP3 team, which have been very supportive during the program.
Thank you very much. It was our pleasure as well to assist. So yeah, that would be it.
Thank you, Romain. Thank you to all of you who are listening and or watching us today. Stay tuned for more startups, stay tuned for more stories, and of course, follow Centiloc. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.